Good morning, O'Fallon. My name is Megan Yu, here with your OTHS Panther Beat News. On today's broadcast, we'll be showcasing teacher spotlights and taking a peek into how educators are adapting towards new ways of learning, local community events, and how those in O'Fallon are continuing to help and give back to the city despite current difficulties, and unique stories and some history about O'Fallon Township. We now report to Brooklyn Shirley as she'll interview multiple teachers on the topic of COVID-19, hybrid learning, along with others.
Since this is your first year teaching, what's one of the most memorable things you've experienced so far this year?
Well, obviously with COVID, that's the easy answer to say, just completely changing how we teach and how we lesson plan. But that aside, a more interesting answer is, teaching at a school that I actually went to has been a really crazy experience in a very good and positive way. I went to this school, I can relate to my students, and I feel like a lot of first-year teachers don't really get that experience. So being able to relate to my students and see my former teachers as colleagues now has been the most memorable thing that I've encountered so far.
Thank you, Ms. Vance. Let's hop back to the news desk for our next fragment.
Do you ever think schooling will be the same after, everything that's been going on?
I think that there will certainly be parts of it that go back to our old normal, but I think that there are some things that we've just had to reinvent and rethink that have allowed teachers and students to become stronger versions of themselves. And so those things I think we will continue to incorporate moving forward.
In this next segment, we're going to be discussing some community events going on in O'Fallon Township, such as a dog toy in the sock drive and a planned story time for young kids over Zoom. We spoke with a few leaders that are involved with these special events to give you all more information on them. Let's go to Brooklyn, who will be interviewing OTHS student Hannah Kim and teacher Mrs. Hamilton.
Thanks, Megan. I'm here with Hannah Kim and Mrs. Hamilton, who are both leaders of the Interactive Club at OTHS. So recently you guys had a storybook reading over Zoom for younger children. How did you come up with this idea?
So several months ago when we first started having Interact Club meetings, our members came up with the idea of a project that involved Zoom and we could help our community in a way that was safe and went with COVID-19 guidelines. Our members thought that since a lot of children were kind of struggling during this time, whether with phonetics or just needed someone to talk to, we thought it would be fun to have a really short Zoom story time and read a couple of books.
What type of influence do you want this club to have on the community?
Well, overall, I think that I would like us to have a positive influence on our community, but also too at the same time developing the leadership skills of our members and making them involved and active members of that community so that whenever they enter into adulthood, which is coming up shortly for our high school students, that they continue to be engaged with their community and make a positive impact.
Thank you, ladies. Now to Megan, who's with Mrs. Heisler.
So what can our viewers do to help with any upcoming fundraisers or drives?
The viewers can definitely help by any donations that we ask for a request. For example, if we are able to do the drive for books for babies possibly coming up in the future, any donations that they can reach out and do. In addition, we might be doing fundraisers at area restaurants or area organizations to actually raise funds to be able to buy items for the homeless or children, in addition to anything else. So we might have a fundraiser at a restaurant. If they simply take a flyer, go to the restaurant, and the restaurant can donate money back to our organization, that we can use that to help buy certain things. Okay?
For the last section, we'll be covering the history and stories that make the O'Fallon Panthers unique. OTHS was originally founded in 1901 as a two-year school by William Doris. While the building was mainly used for elementary school, Room 10 was sanctioned off for high school studies. Within 1903, the first graduating class only had 5 members, which juxtaposes the statistics between then and now, with over 2,000 students attending as of 2020. In 1920, the high school had officially become OTHS of District 203.
In 1962, as stated within an entry of the Panther, the symbology on O'Fallon Township High School's crest reflects the town's rich history of farming, industry, and coal mining. The crest can be found on the bronze plaque placed in the 600 hallway by the class of 1961, as well as on the students' graduation diplomas. The school can also be unique in a way due to there being two campuses, Milburn and Smiley. The Milburn campus is sectioned off specifically for freshmen, while the Smiley campus is designated towards the sophomores through seniors. From the overwhelming number of new students that were being received, the Milburn building had opened in 2009 while still remaining as a part of District 203. And with that, we conclude today's broadcast. We hope that everyone listening stays safe, and we'll see you next time on Panther Beat.